Welcome back. All right, so first game of the night, the Rangers in against Carolina. Here's the thing. The New York Rangers almost played a perfect road game. And that is of consolation to no Ranger fans, nor does it take any of the joy away from Carolina fans. But the Rangers played well through 40, and then the third we start to see what the Carolina Hurricanes can do. So it was Shesterkin versus Raanta. Still no Freddie Anderson. I think Canes fans with each passing home game care less, not necessarily about Anderson, but care less about, well, when's he coming back, what's going on. I think there's more of a take your time, come back when you're ready. We're okay with Antti Raanta. And as a Raanta fan, it's nice to see. And of course, he used to play for the Rangers. There are a lot of players on the Rangers who played for the Canes. Canes that played for the Rangers. It makes for a fun series here. So the Canes press, but the Rangers get the early power play. There's a shorthanded chance for Stahl. His rush chance is fired wide. Then we get a minute and 33 seconds of 4-on-4. So a little bit of an issue with penalties early. And I thought, we're going to get a lot of penalties. Nope. That was the only 2 power plays of the entire game, which there are going to be some fans who say that's great. That's awesome. They let them deal with it on the ice. And there's going to be fans who in the comments underneath this video are going to complain about calls that weren't made. So it's just normal hockey speak this time of year. Trouba has a rush chance that save. Teravainen fires one wide. A brief Canes press takes place. Everything gets killed off. So we go back to we go through the 4-on-4. We go through the short power play. Everything's killed off there. Kopp then has a net feed. That's blocked. The shots are 2-0 for the Rangers at 5.5 minutes. And then at 7:07, it is Hedl who opens the scoring from Lafreniere. He scores on a rush after a Tony DeAngelo turnover at center ice. So they take advantage of that. That was only their 4th shot. The Canes had 8 attempts, but none on the net yet. So they're getting looks, but they're not getting shots on the net. They're getting blocked, or they're just flat out missing the net at that point. Canes get the first shot the next shift, though. Canes get zone time, but no sustained pressure. This is where we're seeing the Rangers holding to the outside, not giving them those sustained opportunities. Then there's a press by the Rangers with 8 minutes left. Jarvis has a rush chance that's saved. Lindgren, not on the bench. He would return to the game, but he wasn't on the bench at this point, so they modified their defense pairings at that stage. Kotkaniemi has a chance that's held. Hedl couldn't bury one in close on a fantastic pass from Kakko. That line is definitely generating. I think they were the best line the Rangers had, the most constant offensive threat tonight. Kreider has a chance that's kicked aside. The Canes then rush. Niederreiter has a chance that was blocked out. Trouba has a shot that's held. Both goalies solid, and both goalies were solid throughout this game, to be honest. Canes have a 3-on-2. Jarvis fires wide. Reeves is then denied from the slot. This is the first time in the playoffs that the Canes trailed after one period. So we go to the second. Canes had the early jump. Lindgren was back. The question being, is he 100%? I didn't see anything to tell me that there was a problem when it comes to him. So Trocheck fires one wide on a rush. Lawrence has a chance that's kicked aside. The Rangers are blanketing the Canes at this point in the game. There really wasn't opportunities. The problem is, and this is the thing, the Rangers don't get that next goal, that next big boost. And there were opportunities they had, they just could not add to that lead. So there's a near miss for Zibanejad. The Rangers press. Fox has a chance that's held. There's a stretch pass to Strome that was a near miss, became an icing instead. Kakko and Hedl are denied as the kid line presses. Shots are 7-2 for the Rangers at 9 minutes. Niederreiter has a chance saved. Trouba had a shift that it was at 3 minutes at this point. He ended up being in the ice for 3 minutes and 12 seconds on that shift. It's a long shift. Strome has a net feed that's blocked. Mott had a sharp angle shot that was held. Jarvis had a chance that was saved. DeAngelo wanted a call. And then the refs told that he sucks shortly after that, so apparently. Mott couldn't bury one as he's tied up. There's a near miss for Natchez as the Canes press. And then Svechnikov had a rush chance that was saved, and there's a late press for the Canes. So in that period, the Canes being outshot, being outchanced. But again, the Rangers don't get that second goal. So as great as it looked, it's still just the 1-0 score after 2. Now, this season, the Rangers 32-1-3 when they're leading after 2 periods. So that bodes well, but you can see. Zibanejad fires one wide on a turnover. The Rangers still blocking off the middle, but the Canes start to wear that down. They press at 2 minutes. Teravainen was denied. The crowd cheered the offense. The crowd could feel that all of a sudden the Canes were looking dangerous again. And it looked like Carolina was starting to get their game going. Shea has a shot that's held. Canes with some momentum. Of course, Brady Shea, one of those former Rangers. Natchez is denied from the slot. The shots are 5-0 for the Canes at 4 minutes. And so you could feel the momentum shift and the Rangers starting to chase the game a bit. Now, whether this is the Canes pushing back, the Rangers sitting back, playing that prevent defense I've talked about in previous playoff videos, or maybe a little mix of both. Either way, it did not bode well for those New York Rangers. So D'Angelo has a chance to save. The rebound's cleared. Kotkaniemi fires one high on a rush. We had a long stretch during that period without a whistle. The Rangers trying to kill the clock was my guess. I think we went about 6.5 minutes without a whistle there. Kakko has a rush chance that's defended. The Rangers wanted a call there. There wasn't a call to be made, though. Now, from the perspective of the Rangers bench, it looked like Kakko got tripped, knocked down, but there really wasn't a penalty to be called there. So I also want to say with Kakko, I can see in his game that the offense is there. I do get the occasional message asking, do you think Kakko is a bust? I don't know that Kakko ever reaches that potential that was expected when he was drafted, but he is a good player, and I think the puck's going to start going in for him. Whether or not it's in this series remains to be seen. The shots are 7-1 for the Canes with 8 minutes left. So the Rangers just aren't generating enough at this point. Niederreiter gets a break. He hits the crossbar. So, and I thought that was in. Just with the eye test, I thought that looked to me like it went under the crossbar and maybe hit the back bar, but it didn't. And then there's an open net miss for Kakko on a cross ice pass. So, yeah, you wanted a goal there if you're the Rangers, didn't you? Svechnikov fires one wide on a rush. Reeves beats out an icing. But the Canes cleared it out pretty quickly after that, and the Rangers were just in their own zone way too much. There wasn't enough forechecking. There wasn't enough. I mean, it's not an effort thing, but there just wasn't enough determination to get into the Canes' end and generate some offense there. Svechnikov gets knocked down. The fans look for a call again. But as I said, they really put their whistles away in this. Miller then has a blast that's kicked aside, and then Aho with a rush opportunity. He hits the post. And then Aho doesn't hit the post. He hits the net. At 17:37, he buries his own rebound on a rush from Jarvis and Teravainen. Ties it up at 1. The crowd goes completely crazy. Bonkers moment. The Canes then press for the lead. They ice the puck with 23.9 seconds left, but Aho wins the following faceoff, and so we're headed to overtime. And at the horn, we get some pushing and shoving between these teams. We didn't have a lot of that tonight, and we in the other game that I'm watching right now, which is Oilers Flames in between the first and second period, we start seeing that dislike between these teams as the period's going along with the Battle of Alberta. I think the dislike between these teams is going to show up pretty quickly in game 2. So in the overtimes, Zibanejad has a rush that's defended. Fox has a shot that was blocked. Trouba has a sharp angle shot that's kicked aside. Trocheck then had a chance that was saved, but the Canes press, and eventually they get the goal. It's Cole. Ian Cole kind of throws it at the net. It goes in from Brendan Smith and Kotkaniemi at 3:12. So Smith, of course, used to be a Ranger as well. And your final score is 2-1 in overtime for the Carolina Hurricanes. They lead this series 1-0. Your 3 stars are Cole, Ronta, and Aho. Shots 12-8 Rangers in the first, 11-6 Rangers in the second, 10-4 Canes in the third. In the overtime, the Canes outshoot the Rangers 2-1. Final shots 28-26 for the Rangers. Power plays, both teams go 0 for 1. The hits were 40-31 in favor of the Canes. Shesterkin saves 24 out of 26. Ronta saves 27 out of 28. So this series is going. We've had an overtime already. And so we'll see how things turn out in game 2. The Rangers, again, I thought they had a very good first 40 minutes. And then the tables were turned on them in the third, and they didn't have that answer. So has the momentum now shifted to Carolina? Are we going to see that carry over into game 2? In these playoffs, we haven't seen momentum mean anything from one game to the next. Maybe that changes in round 2. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.